Good afternoon, everyone. The author Charles Dickens wrote in his novel, A Tale of Two Cities, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Certainly, after all these challenging times you and I have experienced in the last year and a half, we might agree with his sentiments. I'm happy that all of us are here today and enjoying this wonderful Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention once again. Thank you, Martin and Michelle Grams, and everyone who is making this weekend possible. I am also appreciative to the Metropolitan Washington Old Time Radio Club, or MWOTRC, and its new president, actor Wendy Wilmer, for allowing me to demonstrate the continuing vitality of the venerable radio show, now often called audio theater. Usually I write these introductions to my productions much earlier, but the right words didn't come to me until early Friday morning. Because of these challenging times, it has taken the enthusiasm of a number of different organizations and individuals to bring this presentation to you. Our very talented cast features actors from the MWOTRC, from top theatrical organizations in the Metro Washington area, from some individuals who are new to acting, and from New York's The Gotham Radio Players under the direction of Stephen M. Lewis, whose brilliant old-time radio recreation many of you saw on Thursday afternoon. I am grateful also for the enthusiastic technical support and insight from fellow director Don Ramlow and his wife Mary Ramlow, who will be operating the board. You have been enjoying their own presentations here for many years. This is the premiere, as Wendy said, of my play Miranda's Miracle. It features sound effects prepared by longtime collaborators Marcia Bush and Mark Bush, and offers an original musical score prepared by gifted composer Hef Munson. It has benefited from area musician Tom Saputo, who fit me into his busy schedule to master the sound. And the script is much stronger because of the brilliant dramaturgy by my brother, Fraser Neely Southey Russell. I am grateful to the late Ellen Burney, who in 2008 was instrumental in persuading the program committee of the Friends of Old Time Radio that I should be allowed to direct my own award-winning script at their annual convention. I dedicate this performance to my parents, Navy Captain and Mrs. Edgar F. Russell Jr., whose enduring love for each other and for their children helped inspire this play. Maybe they're in the room now or listening in from above. Finally, my deep appreciation also goes to all of you for being here today to experience the magic of Miranda's Miracle.
Presenting Miranda's Miracle, written and directed by Edgar Farr Russell III.
Since I've been asked to narrate this story, suppose I should start from the beginning. But what is the beginning? And who's to say how it will end? Anyways, it opens with a late model four-door car speeding down a street. Driving is a middle-aged mechanical engineer. Beside him is his wife, the artistic director of a community theater.
Vivica, my mind is made up.
Oh, Carl, don't be a simple tool.
That worthless husband of Miranda is the simple tool. Doesn't she have any sense at all?
Yes, she takes after her father. Pig-headed and stubborn.
I am not. If she wasn't such a free spirit, like her mother.
Well, you knew I was a free spirit when you married me.
That's different. I wasn't a pinhead like most of the men you hung out with. I was hardworking and reliable.
All my girlfriends thought you were dull.
You never told me that.
Of course not. I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
You don't think I'm dull, do you?
Well, I fell in love with you, so it didn't matter.
After 31 years of marriage, I finally discovered the truth.
Oh, you old fool. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't have stayed.
Why did you marry me? That Brooks Eskew fellow was rich, handsome, and athletic.
You bet he was. But that first day we met, I felt like I'd known you my whole life.
Yeah. And yet each time I saw you, it seemed like I was falling in love with you over and over, and...
Me too. And that's what I want from Miranda.
Of course. But why this bum?
Well, like our friend Annie says, you don't choose who you love.
Yeah, but that guy's a drunk. And I'm sure he takes drugs.
Miranda's got her own problems with addiction, remember?
Oh, for God's sake, she's 30 years old. When's she supposed to grow up and take charge of her life?
That's the point. She's an adult, responsible for her own decisions and her own mistakes.
Oh, I know. It's just because I love her so much. It tears my heart out to see her that way.
Oh, baby, don't you think I love her too? Let's turn the car around and go home, okay?
No. We're going to help straighten out Miranda's life if it's the last thing we ever do.
Carl, you just went through a red light. That truck's coming right at...
That must be their car. Mr. and Mrs. Fitzgerald? Carl and Vivica Fitzgerald?
Help.
Call 911.
That won't be necessary if you'll come with me.
Don't think we can move.
Actually, neither of you is in any pain.
Mister, we just got hit by a truck.
I know that. A Mack truck. VIN number 2G1WH55K2392757771. You'll be glad to know that the driver will live, another 27 years.
What?
He's right. I don't feel any pain. In fact, I don't feel anything.
Oh, in a few minutes you'll be feeling a wonderful sense of well-being. And then it'll be time to go.
Go? Go where?
Why, to heaven, of course.
Where did you say?
Oh, did you think I was taking you to the other place? Hey, Patrick! They thought... Yes, Patrick. I'll make sure they understand they didn't survive the crash.
We're dead?
Only in the technical sense. Your bodies have died, but your souls are doing just fine.
Who are you?
The name's Donald. I'm here to escort you. Now, would you like the heavenly steps or the tunnel of light?
I must be hallucinating.
Not at all. And either way, you'll be welcomed along the way by your previously departed friends and relatives.
I can't die. I've got to help my daughter fix her life.
You see, we were on our way to visit her.
Yes, it was only my pre-departure briefing.
Oh, you must be mistaken. Like in Here Comes Mr. Jordan, where the escort takes Robert Montgomery's spirit way too early.
I liked the remake with Warren Beatty better.
See here, we don't make mistakes. That lousy scriptwriter's giving all us escorts a bad name. Now do you and your wife want the heavenly steps or the tunnel of light?
Nothing doing. You take us straight to your boss. What did you say his name was? Patrick?
This is highly irregular. I will certainly not.
Then I'm going to stay right here on Earth.
Oh, for once in your life, Carl, be reasonable.
Vivica, I've made up my mind. No, Patrick. Then no trip to the pearly gates.
For heaven's sakes, Donald, bring them up here now. And since Mrs. Fitzgerald loved Star Trek, use the transporter beam.
All right, Patrick.
Vivica, we're vanishing.
Look, Carl, we're rematerializing inside the USS Enterprise. Oh my goodness, is that James Doohan at the controls?
Aye, lassie, it's the least I could do. After all, you did see Star Trek the motion picture 32 times.
Is DeForest Kelly here too?
Sure, but we don't sign autographs anymore.
Enough of this nonsense. Take me to see Patrick.
This way, please.
Listen, Patrick, we're not ready to be admitted. We've got too much unfinished business on Earth.
While I sympathize, there's nothing I can do about that.
You didn't hear me, fella. I've got to get back.
Oh, in that case, we do have our reincarnation program.
Reincarnation?
Well,
Do you mean?
I studied that in my New Age spirituality group. Reincarnation means a person can choose to be reborn into another body.
What? That's crazy.
To the contrary, millions of souls through the millennia have taken advantage of this excellent program.
For example, I've escorted the Dalai Lama hundreds of times.
Well, maybe if you've got a body that looks just like mine did.
Oh, Carl, you old fool. It doesn't work that way.
Your wife's right. You apply to be reborn as a baby. And once your application's approved, you wait the required 50 years.
50 years? Miranda will be an old lady by then.
What's all this noise, Patrick?
Hello, Susanna. I was about to let Mr. Fitzgerald read his entry and tell him why he can't return so soon. Now, which page is it?
It's on page 6,047,000.
You've got Carl's page number memorized?
I knew we'd have trouble with him.
Ah, seems Miranda and her husband Billy Smith are expecting.
Oh, no. Vivica? Did you know about Miranda?
Yes, Carl, she told me.
Can't you make time go backwards? This is heaven, isn't it?
I'm afraid it's too late to change anything now.
Patrick, isn't that an asterisk by the baby's listing?
So there is. Let me check the footnote. Oh, my. The child is to die at birth.
Oh, Carl, you were right. We have to go back to comfort Miranda. Susanna, isn't there anything we can do?
Perhaps there is a way. Patrick, what if you sent one of them back to be reborn as Miranda's baby?
But that would violate the 50-year reincarnation rule.
Remember how we felt when we lost our baby?
Very well, Susanna. But which one?
I'm her mother. I should go.
No, Vivica, you'd let Miranda do whatever she wanted. I was a drill sergeant in the Army. I'd make her toe the line.
And see where it's gotten you so far. I know you well enough, Carl, that if I didn't let you try, it would kill you.
Then it's settled. Donald, take Carl back to Earth.
Oh, I just thought of something. If I go back as a baby, Miranda won't listen to my wise counsel. I need to go back as a man.
Listen, Carl, you're not on Let's Make a Deal.
I'll handle this, Donald. Carl, you either go back now as Miranda's baby, or you'll have to wait to 50 years.
What a choice. Well, you know, I did have a good childhood. It might be fun reliving my first bike ride with the other fellows, or going on my first Boy Scout hike. It'll be easier this time because I'll remember how to do everything from before.
No, it won't, because you won't remember your previous life.
Hey, you're right. At the end of that movie, Mr. Jordan took away Robert Montgomery's memory.
That's what we do.
Oh, please, Patrick, please let me keep my memory. How can I help Miranda if I don't know I'm her father?
All right, all right. Donald, please take Patrick now.
I love you, Vivica, always.
I know, my love.
And so, accompanied by Donald, Carl returned to Earth, to the hospital delivery room where he was about to be reborn.
Here we go, Carl. Looks like we're just in time.
When do I get reborn? What do I do?
Relax, I'll let you know.
Shouldn't we be in surgical gowns or something?
Angels don't have germs, and the staff can't see or hear us.
There's Miranda on the table. Say, where's that jerk, Billy Smith? Why isn't he here beside her?
Oh, this is killing me.
Easy, Miranda. Vital signs good, Dr. Davidson.
Thank you, nurse. You're doing great, Miranda. Keep pushing.
That doctor is a handsome young fellow. Why can't Miranda ever meet a stable, professional man like him?
Oh, she'll meet Dr. Davison again. One day.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. You know, Donald, 30 years ago, I saw Miranda being born. Now I'm watching her give birth to her own baby.
Now, you're not going to pass out again like you did that day, are you?
Well, that only happened because I remembered watching Emergency Childbirth in the high school biology class film. Hey, how did you know I fainted?
I was there. In fact, I've been present at thousands of births.
Final push now, Miranda. Okay, everyone, here comes the baby. Something's wrong. The baby's not responding to my slaps.
There's no heartbeat, Doctor.
Do something.
Let me compress its chest. Now, Carl, cradle your arms around the baby. Then it'll happen.
Still no heartbeat.
It's like I'm free falling. Now I've landed.
Your soul's inside, Carl. Start wiggling around.
The baby's moving, but it hasn't got a pulse.
This can't be happening. Maybe one more slap.
Ow!
Thank God. Miranda, you've just witnessed something incredible. Now may I present your beautiful daughter.
Daughter? The doctor must be mistaken.
My baby! My miracle baby! Oh, that's it. Oh, I'll call her Miracle.
I can't be her daughter. I have to be her son.
Check yourself over closely, Carl. You don't have one. Miranda gave birth to a healthy girl.
I didn't agree to that.
You asked to be reborn as Miranda's baby, and you asked to keep your memories as Carl. That's all.
I just assumed.
With reincarnation, you can be reborn as a boy or girl. That's why we take away past memories. People usually ask to be reborn so they can learn a lesson. And are you ever going to learn a big one?
You knew about this, didn't you, Donald?
Of course I did.
Then why didn't you tell me?
Because I wanted to see the expression on your face.
You're no angel.
Neither are you.
Well, the laugh's on you, because as soon as I'm alone with her, I'm going to tell Miranda I'm her dad.
Oh no, you're developed like a normal baby. And when you do start talking, you can't say anything about who you really are.
But...
My job's done here. I must be leaving.
You can't go. Who's going to help me manage all this?
Don't worry. I'll return at the right time. When you get frustrated with your new life, just remind yourself why you asked to be reborn. So long, Carl. Or should I say, miracle.
Miranda had barely gotten back to her apartment when the police arrived, asking her to perform the heartbreaking task of identifying her parents. After she returned home and put Miracle into her crib, she cracked open one of the 2 large bottles of vodka she purchased at the liquor store, and in a short time drank it dry.
I killed him. Mom and Dad were rushing here. Mom to see the baby and Dad to yell at me.
No, Miranda. I swear I didn't know about your baby. Your mother knew, but not me. Vivica and I were arguing. I was speeding, not paying attention, and I missed the red light. You didn't cause the accident.
You're screwing up my life. I couldn't even hold on to Billy. He split when he found out about the baby. I'm worthless.
No, honey, you're precious to us. That's why we were coming to visit, to show how much we loved you.
Maybe the second bottle will make me forget.
You'll kill yourself drinking. You've got to stop, you. But how? Can't talk yet? Not strong enough to climb out of the crib and break the bottle. I'm only good for crying. Yeah, crying.
Quiet! I said quiet! Shut up, you stupid baby! You want your bottle? Take this one!
Whoa, that was close.
Oh crap, I threw the unopened bottle. What a waste. Stupid baby.
What do you know? It worked.
I'll go out. I'll get another fifth. If I can just stand up.
Careful, Miranda. You're looking pretty unsteady.
Oh, maybe sleep will help me forget.
I wish you were a child again, Miranda, so you wouldn't have all this hurt inside. Baby, do you remember the game we played when you were little? Your mom and I would blow kisses to you. We'd take turns teasing you by asking, "Do you know how much I love you? I don't think you do." Then you'd rush into our arms, cover our faces with kisses, and shout, "Yes, I do. I love you too." Only sweet dreams, baby. Your daddy's still here.
As the months passed, the pain in Miranda's heart lessened. There was something about her baby that seemed to help.
Oh, you're such a pretty girl, aren't you? Look into the mirror. Your face is just like your grandma's. Okay, time for dinner. I've got your favorite
Oh, no.
strained peas.
I'd kill for a cheeseburger and
Oh
fries.
no, here comes a spoon, baby. Open your mouth. Yeah, come on, Miracle. Open up.
No way, Jose.
Look at those little flashing eyes. I swear you're just as stubborn as your grandfather was.
That's it. Start realizing who Miracle really is.
And he loved me just as much as I love you, Miracle.
Huh? Well, I thought you hated me. All through your life, you fought me every inch of the way.
Oh, he used to make me so angry telling me what to do. But he was always there for me when it counted. Come on, baby. If you don't eat, you won't grow up to be big and strong like him.
Well, Miranda, if you feel that way about me, then bring on the strained peas.
Oh, now that's a nice baby. Here's another spoonful. That's so good.
But I don't have to like them.
As caring as Miranda was to her Miracle, she still embraced a party lifestyle. Her friends were always ready to help her spend her money, and the life insurance payment she had received when her parents died was nearly gone after that first year.
It's just an amazing party, right? Doesn't it, Miranda?
Grass, I like it. Come in, Alfredo. Party's rockin'.
I can see that, my beautiful senorita. And I brought you a little bag to make it rock even more.
Not here. Come into the bedroom. We'll be alone with Miracle.
I recognize that guy from TV. People think he's a major distributor of drugs from Colombia.
Oh, unwrap it. Put it on the table, Alfredo.
You separate into lines. Where can I hide the kilo?
That's cocaine. Miranda will be in serious trouble if the cops search his house. Gotta get him and his junk out of here.
Oh, put it in that drawer, Alfredo. Under the boxes of diapers.
Good. They're both distracted. Now, my Army Ranger training will make this operation easier. First, climb over crib and reach floor. Second, roll like ninja up to the cocaine on the table. Now, stand up, lean over open bag, put finger down throat, and...
That freaking baby, puking all over the cocaine. Come here, kid.
Oh, stop shaking her! Miracle didn't know any better. Oh, Miracle? You knocked her out!
Be glad I didn't kill her. And you.
Oh, you bastard! Take your stinking kilo!
Fine. Find some stupid gringo to pay your bills. I'm out of here.
Oh, speak to me, baby. Baby, speak to me.
Oh, that guy hit like a pile driver. We better put on the tears for Miranda's benefit.
Batman hurt me.
Miracle, bad man, I'll never hurt you again. I'll never let anyone hurt you again. Not even me. I'll get a job so I can take care of you properly. Miracle, honey, do you know how much I love you? I don't think you do.
She remembers our game.
Yes, I do. I love you too.
Oh, baby, that's what I'd say to Mom and Dad.
Miranda finally found work as secretary in an engineering firm her dad had worked with. Miracle was growing like a sprout, and so were the problems between mother and daughter.
But this dress is for your church confirmation.
What do you think I am? A girl?
I hate
dresses.
Well, I would have loved this pretty design when I was 12.
You hated dresses when you were my age.
That's not true. I love beautiful things.
You always refused when your dad tried to buy you one.
Well, that's because I wanted to be like Mom. And she always wore tie-dyed shirts and jeans. Wait a minute, how'd you know that about my dad?
Uh-oh, gotta think of a good answer.
Well, you told me that Grandpa was very conservative, and in all your pictures, you look like a hippie.
Yeah, well, Dad always wanted me to look pretty. I wish he could see me now.
I never knew. There's so much I never understood.
I'll wear the dress for you.
Oh, great, honey. Wear it for him, too. Okay, Miracle?
As Miracle entered high school, she continued to be a superb student and a great athlete. Her mother was very proud. Carl was proud of Miranda also. She had risen in the company to become office manager. Only one thing upset Carl. Miranda was still smoking cigarettes. He tried everything to get her to stop, but she just couldn't. Miranda worried about her daughter in a different way. Miracle's guidance counselor recommended a good engineering college, but Miracle told her mother, no.
Now, honey, you must go to a good school. You've worked so hard.
But who will look after you if I leave?
I swear, you'd think it was you had taken care of me all these years.
I always wanted you to meet the right man and get married.
Well, that's funny. Whenever I bring home a fella I liked, you always found a reason to dislike him. So I'd send him away.
They weren't good enough for you.
Oh, no one's perfect, baby. But there are kind and caring people out there for me and for you.
I told you that I'm in...
I know. Oh my gosh, you're in love with someone far, far away.
I can't even tell you. It's your mother. My Vivica.
Someday we'll be together again.
I hope so, dear. I hope so.
As a compromise, Miracle agreed to take classes at a nearby school. Surprisingly, she decided to study sociology instead of engineering. Miracle was 22 when she met Miranda's new office assistant, handsome 20-year-old Roger.
Miranda, I've got the figures for the new budget. Oh my. I'm sorry to interrupt you when you have a visitor.
Oh, she's not a visitor, Roger. Meet my daughter, Miracle.
Hi there.
Hello.
I should have recognized you. Your mother's told me so much about you.
And I've gotten an earful about you.
Excuse us. Mother and I are going to lunch.
Of course, Miracle. I hope to speak with you again.
Not likely, Buster.
Coming, Mother.
Miracle, that was rude of you. Now, Roger is a very nice boy, and he's been quite helpful to me since he started working here.
That's not what your staff tells me.
Oh, what do you mean?
They say he's in and out of your office 20 times a day, and sometimes he's in there for a long time with your door closed.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I am 52, and he's only 20.
It's been known to happen.
They're sure he's your boy toy.
Oh, for God's sake. It's not what you think.
Well, what is it then?
You'll make fun of me if I tell you.
Go ahead, spill it.
All right, let me light a cigarette first.
I keep telling you, those coffin nails are going to kill you.
Leave me alone, will you? Anyway, the first time I met Roger, this special feeling came over me.
Oh, just that.
What kind of feeling?
When he's with me, I experience this incredibly comforting warmth. We'll talk about everything, and He just gives me the most caring advice that you could imagine.
Yeah, like I've done every day of your life?
What's he want from you?
Oh, nothing. He only wants to give. And when I'm with him, I don't feel lonely.
This is worse than I thought.
Are you in love with Roger?
You know, that's the strangest thing. I love him, but I'm not in love with him. And whenever I think about him, I also think about you.
What's Roger got to do with me?
Well, I'm not sure, honey. Maybe he's the one for you.
There's only been one moment for me, Miranda.
Don't be ridiculous.
Come on, now wait. At least get to know him. Maybe he'll grow on you.
As time passed, Carl understood why Miranda felt that way. But of course, Miracle, had no interest in Roger. Indeed, the more Roger tried to reach out to Miracle, the more irritated she seemed to become. Then something else happened. Miranda's cough worsened. Miracle was worried and insisted Miranda see a doctor. Miracle went along.
Hello, I'm Dr. Davidson. Sit down, both of you.
Wait a minute. I remember that face.
Doctor, this is Miranda Fitzgerald. You attended her and delivered me. Even with your gray hair, I still recognize you.
Fancy it's you and not your mother who recognized me. You only saw me for a moment, and upside down at that. I held you by your legs and slapped you.
Oh, she whirled around. But she had no heartbeat when she was born. You had to slap her ever hard, Doctor.
I do remember now. Most amazing birth I ever witnessed.
You don't know the half of it, Dr. Davidson.
It got me thinking about the narrow distance between life and death. You know, I spent the first 20 years of my practice delivering babies, and after that day, I began focusing on patients at the other end of life. It just seemed right somehow.
52 isn't old, Doctor.
No, but I'm concerned about her cough. Mrs. Fitzgerald, would you sit on the edge of the exam table?
Of course.
Let me listen with my stethoscope. Please, breathe in and hold. Now breathe out. Thank you.
Well, how was sound?
I'd like to run some additional tests. Would you go into the other room and wait a minute? Miracle can remain here.
Your face. Doctor, what is it?
I'm praying that your mother has a serious case of COVID-19.
What are you saying?
You're praying that she has COVID?
Yes. If it isn't that, then your mother has cancer.
All the tests were performed. It wasn't COVID-19. The doctor told Miranda, in her case, chemotherapy had only a small chance of success and would reduce the quality of her life. She said she wanted to go home. The time passed too quickly. Miracle and Roger declared a truce in their personal feud and took turns attending Miranda. Finally, one night, she asked them both to stay with her. They entered her bedroom and saw Miranda resting in her metal hospital bed. Slowly, she opened her glistening eyes and smiled up at them.
I know you two can't stop arguing. Just like my parents couldn't. But they possess the most powerful love I've ever seen. The funny thing is, miracles always reminded me of my dad. And while you, Roger, you're just like my mom.
Don't talk. Save your strength.
haven't much time, so I've got to speak my mind. Sometimes others can see us better than we see ourselves. You both taught me that.
I've been trying to tell her the same thing.
Stop it, Roger.
Quiet, you two. I've seen the love you each carry inside. You'd be perfect companions if you'd only quit fighting. Please listen. Listen to the beating of your hearts.
But
will you do something for me? Will you go outside now and just spend a few moments gazing into each other's eyes?
Of course, Miranda.
sure, it won't do any good.
Do you both know how much I love you? I don't think you do.
Yes, I do.
I love you too.
You sound so sad. I want to rest a while. Alone.
Okay, we'll come back later to say goodnight.
Go, Miracle. Shall we look into each other's eyes?
What's the point?
Do you hate me that much?
I don't hate you, Roger, but I can't love you either.
Won't you ever see how I feel about you?
I can see it. I can't explain it to you, but there's someone else I've loved all these years. Someone who's waiting for me.
Hello, Carl.
My escort! After so many years?
I told you I'd return when the time is right.
Welcome back, Donald.
Wait a minute! Roger! You can see Donald too?
Of course, you old fool. And Patrick is with him.
Go ahead. You can tell Carl now.
Don't you recognize me yet, baby? It's Vivica.
Impossible! My wife's waiting for me in heaven!
No, Carl. After 2 years there, I missed you so terribly that I asked Patrick and Susanna if I couldn't come back also.
But you can't be Vivica! You're a boy!
Like I told you 22 years ago, Carl, with reincarnation, you can be reborn as a boy or girl.
I thought it would work out better if Vivica were reborn as Roger. You two have always been special to me.
Always? You mean that we...
I've escorted you both dozens of times through the centuries.
I guess Miranda sees into our souls.
She understands, Carl.
But how can Vivica and I get remarried? She's a man now, and I'm a woman.
Don't be a simple tool, Carl. We'll fit together quite nicely.
I guess we will. Come on, let's tell Miranda her parents are together again. Wait a minute. Donald, why have you come back now? Are you here to escort Miranda?
Donald has already escorted her.
Oh.
I was in the room with you three. Miranda asked you to leave, but she didn't want you to see her pass.
Carl, do you remember your last words before that truck hit?
I've always been kind of hazy on those moments.
You said we're going to help straighten out Miranda's life if it's the last thing we ever do.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you two never stopped loving Miranda, she came to realize she was worthy of love and could share it with others.
Now, it's time to make the rest of your years just as satisfying.
Tell me, Vivica, as a Star Trek fan, do you remember episode number 74?
Of course! Requiem for Methuselah as my favorite scene. Captain Kirk is tormented by a painful memory. Mr. Spock takes pity on him, leans over, and into his ear whispers the word, forget. Miracle? Did you say something just now?
I can't seem to remember, except I was going to say that I don't hate you, Roger. In fact, the first day we met, I felt like I'd known you my whole life.
Yeah, and yet each time I saw you, it seemed like I was falling in love with you over and over and...
Me too. Don't know why I fought it for so long.
Doesn't matter now. Let's go tell Miranda she was right.
I guess mothers do know best.
Miranda, we've got great news for you.
Wake up, Mom. Roger and I are going to get married. Mom?
Miracle. I think she's gone.
Oh, Roger.
Baby, I'm sorry we didn't get to tell her.
I think she knew. See her smile.
Miracle. Her face. The wrinkles seem to have disappeared. She looks 20 years younger.
What a loving grandmother she would have made.
Wonder if our first will be a boy or a girl.
Heaven only knows.
Now, we take leave of Miracle and Roger as their life together truly begins. Have you wondered why Patrick asked me to narrate this story? Maybe you already figured out I'm Billy Smith. Yeah, the husband who got Miranda pregnant, then ran out on her. My life was short and wasted. But even a guy like me can get another chance to do better. Yep, that's right. I've signed up for that same reincarnation program myself. I'll be seeing you in about 50 years. And until we meet again, may all your lives be happy ones.
We have presented a newly written show entitled Miranda's Miracle. It starred in order of appearance Edgar Russell as Billy Smith, the narrator, Richard Wilmer as Carl Fitzgerald, Wendy Wilmer as Vivica Fitzgerald, Steve Lewis as Donald the escort, Frank Morgan as Patrick, the director of admissions, Lauren Carpenter as the Heavenly Susanna, Donna Ring as the delivery room nurse, Rob Farr as Dr. Davidson, Cynthia McDowell as Miranda, Marsha Bauman as Miracle, John Medrano as Alfredo, and Dennis Roma as Roger. Marsha and Mark Bush created our sound effects. Music performed by Hep Munson. Sound mastered by Tom Saputo. The engineer was Mary Ramlow. Frazier Neely Southey Russell was the dramaturge. The show was written, produced, and directed by Edgar Farr Russell III and is copyrighted 2021 by him. Broadcast or performances by anyone else without written permission is expressly prohibited. Your announcer is Dennis Roma. Now please stay tuned for the Russell Brothers production of Nights at the Hotel Vaudeville, the unforgettable story of a mysterious desk clerk whose remarkable power changed the lives of those who stayed at this hotel. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you all for braving the heat to share in this world premiere production of Miranda's Miracle by Edgar Farr Russell III. Now, because we are a little short on time, we have a quiz. We have a trivia quiz that was composed by Jack French. And for each correct answer, you have to really yell out your answers, and the correct answer will get a payday candy bar, full size.
Raise their hands.
Raise your hand, but we have to hear the answer, Edgar.
Oh, I'm going to call on them if they raise their hand.
Oh, okay,
First
good.
person
Good.
to raise your hand gets called on.
I bow to the experts.
Okay. Now, Dennis,
Thank you. Just thank you to the great cast and the Merry Ramlo. I really appreciate it.